All right, Rebels, welcome to the beginning of something different. This is Podcasters Business Insider, the daily show where creators stop playing small and start building like business owners. Here, we don't chase downloads for vanity. We build systems, strategies, and shows that actually pay the bills. If you've ever felt stuck recording into the void, wondering if your podcast will ever grow into more than just a hobby, this is where the guesswork ends. Because you're not just a podcaster, you're a founder, a strategist, a builder. And together, we're going to turn your mic into a media empire. So buckle up, pod rebels, because clarity beats chaos, strategy beats hustle, and momentum beats perfection. So let's get into it. All right, guys. Today, oops. Today we're going to be talking about some case studies that I've come across in the past. I'm not a big fan of case studies, but it's good to look at them once in a while to see, what other people are doing and how people have built their company. And it's going to prove to you that you don't need sponsors or even a big audience to make a serious podcast income. So we'll get into that later. But before we do, yes, I have my mic on. And if you were listening yesterday, for the first, I think, 14 minutes, there was had my mic muted. I can see my green indicator lights going crazy. And I see my green indicator lights here on StreamYard going crazy. So that means my mic is on. I have sound. That was embarrassing yesterday. Yeah, if you're going to go listen to yesterday's live stream, just fast forward the first 14 minutes, ignore it. You're going to have no sound anyways. So today's news, two articles, one coming out of the UK, UK TV and audio habits. The headline, Edison research reveals UK is watching less TV and listening more to audio. Why this matters. This shift shows audiences are moving from passive video watching to more intentional audio listening, especially podcasts and on-demand radio. This is a golden opportunity for podcasters to capture the attention that's leaving traditional screens. This is massive news. And this is exactly where podcasts or Tech Forge Media Group is actually going. Through the rest of this year, you're going to see some other things that we're currently working on that will make Tech Forge Media Group, Podcasters Insider, Control Alt Elite, Underdog Media, even one more thing that we're going to be launching. I'm not going to say it now because I saw this coming 2 years ago. And I was like, oh, I need to make one of those. And I need to get people on and shift people on there. So this on-demand radio thing is a real eye-opener because no longer are the big corporations of media in control anymore. You are in control of your content, what you want to see on that, what you want to see on this screen. It's all up to you now. They've been seeing this trend for a very long time. That's why you see the introduction of Disney Plus, Netflix blew this up. Netflix completely blew this out of the water. Apple TV came on, Google TV, which I read an article yesterday, which actually is dying. They're losing a lot of money. I don't know. A lot of big corporations, they're coming into this a little too late. Podcasting has been around for podcasting is not going anywhere. So what else you're seeing is these big radio stations, they're starting to hurt. When I came back to Toronto, I have a friend of mine, a friend of mine, um, and he's in radio. And he told me, he goes, the largest radio station in Canada is dying. In order for me to take my podcast and put it on their station, on their airwaves, I need to bring sponsors to them because there's no more sponsors going to these media outlets. So I saw this trend going. I'm like, so why should I? I'm going to work extra hard to find sponsors and give it to somebody else for nothing just so that they know. How about I take that sponsorship money and I invest it into my show? And he told me, he goes, that's the smartest thing that you could have ever came out of your mouth. And you're starting to see it where podcasts on YouTube, here on YouTube, have a larger audience than CNN or Fox News or CBC Radio. They have bigger. Joe Rogan podcast, largest podcast in the world, 10 times the size of downloads and listeners and viewers than CNN or Fox News or MSNBC. MSNBC is like disgusting. CBC is even worse. Here in Canada, CBC is just terrible. So you're starting to see it video. Now the radio stuff is coming out. In the Fitness Oracle, I interviewed a guy who had his own radio station, and he told me, he goes, I don't understand why you don't have one. And I was like, well, that makes kind of sense. Like I should have one and have a fitness radio station for podcasts to come and host their episodes. Their podcast can go on my radio station. So I have a full-blown radio station. We're going to be doing something similar with Tech Forge Media Group here. But it's going to be more tailored to the IT professional, business savvy person who wants to start a podcast. We're going to have different sorts of stuff anyway on it as well. But I'm talking about Q4. I've just started working on it. I've paused it because I've gotten so caught up with what's going on with Podcasters Business Insider. I need to do this first before I can do that, because that's just another big, huge project. So it's like I'm going to look at it again in Q4 once PBI and Control Alt Elite are up and running and Underdog Media is up and running, and then I can focus on that part. That's the big news. So article number 2, vertical video on news homepages. News outlets push vertical video to their homepages. Why this matters? Pardon me. Vertical video is no longer just for TikTok or Reels. Publishers are bringing it to their main sites to meet mobile-first consumption trends. For podcasters, this means repurposing clips for vertical and can drive traffic from multiple sources. So you're looking, what that basically means is that instead of having a screen that's like rectangular horizontally, it's now portrait instead of landscape. That's all it means. So think of your Instagram reels, your TikTok reels, your I don't know what else, YouTube reels, all those reels. All those reels are vertical, or YouTube Shorts, TikTok, and Instagram. So what you're starting to see now, like if you go to like news media, is that they're having those short form clips to draw people's attention. Again, this has been around for years, and now they're just starting to. This is how they work, man. This is how they work. Everything's backwards. The real industry changers, industry movers is this: podcasting. We are ahead by 5 years with the rest of everybody else because you're forced to. This small, tiny, little company that I have that has 10 subscribers to my YouTube channel and growing, I have to be ahead of everybody else. I have to be ahead of CNN. This has the potential to grow to, I'm not saying that have the potential to grow to Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan was Joe Rogan before he had the Joe Rogan experience. Okay. He had so many other stuff that made him famous. So I can't compare me to him. It's not fair to me. But what I can compare myself to is one of my friends who's been in the industry for a little bit longer than I have, has a very successful podcast. And he's basically his podcast, Entrepreneurs, After Hours Entrepreneurs. Mark, I can never remember his last name. Mark Savant. It's a friend of mine. I met him when I was living in Florida. My goal is to catch him. That's my goal. My goal isn't to catch Joe Rogan. Mark, I know Mark's story. He was an insurance guy, an insurance salesman. I think it was an insurance. Yeah, he's an insurance salesman or insurance broker. I can't remember. And he got to the point where his podcast was replacing his income. And now his podcast has surpassed his income. That's my goal. He did it in a matter of, I think, 5 years. So it should take me 5 years from August 4th, 2025. So August 4th, 2030, I should quit my job because my income this podcast should replace my income or double. I think if I can reach the point where it is surpassing my income by about 50%, then I'll decide whether or not I want to leave my job. If it is surpassing my income by 100% and I have foreseeable income at the same level for the next year, then I'll definitely leave my job. What's the point? What's the point? This is if it's going to get to that point, I'm going to be swamped with work. I won't have time to do anything. I barely have time now. Like my entire time is like working on Make just so I can make everything function properly. All my free time is there. And yesterday my eyes were ready to pop out of my head and my brain was oozing out of my ear, nose, and mouth. There's a nice picture. So let's get on with okay, one more. My other take on this is that your audio is your product. But video snippets, especially vertical, are now your top marketing asset. Use them to hook attention and bring people into your show, into your atmosphere, into your little bubble. That's what you want. That's what we're going to be doing with all of these. Trust me, I got a week's worth of content that I'm going to be turning into reels and putting them on Instagram and here, YouTube Shorts. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. Maybe not next week because I have this to work on the week after for sure, 100%. So let's get into, let's shift gears here and get into the main theme of this episode is, pardon me, is how do you take your podcast from $0? In most cases, it's negative, like we are. We're working from a negative standpoint to $1,000 a month without sponsors and without sponsors. So one there is one case study that I want to talk to you guys about. Okay. This is going to showcase a solo podcaster who built $1,000 a month revenue with less than 500 downloads per week with no sponsors, no viral moments, just strategy and consistency. The real world example that I'm talking about is Jeremy Ennis, Podcast Marketing Academy. His downloads is roughly about 3 to 500 per episode. That isn't a lot. That's not a lot. Considering there are, I think the last numbers I remember from seeing from Apple, from iTunes was, or Spotify, I think it was about 1 billion people listening to podcasts. So what's 500 people downloading your content compared to 1 billion? It's not even a drop in the bucket. But Jeremy is making $500 to $700 a month from coaching and strategy sessions, $200 to $300 a month from evergreen mini courses, $100 plus a month from affiliate income like ConvertKit and Descript. We've talked about this the entire week, especially yesterday when we were talking about creating that program, that big chunk program, and how you don't need to speak to everybody, just a few people. Jeremy speaking to 300 to 500 people per episode. And the man is making, let's say, $1,100 a month extra on top of everything, all because of his program. He probably has only one program and he can create so much out of mini courses that he just pops into his website and he just says, just go and download this. Go and download this. It'll cost you $50, $150. If he gets 4 people, there's $200 right there. $10. The affiliate marketing, you see what it is. The affiliate marketing is $100 a month. It doesn't pay much, but it does add to your income. And that's what you're going for. You're going for that. You're going for the addition to your income. You're not going for anything else. And the affiliate marketing, we spoke about this, it has to speak to your customer. Let me rephrase that. It has to speak to your avatar, but it also has to make sense to the business model that you're in. Give you one example. With a fitness oracle. The thing that I was promoting with the fitness oracle was health and wellness for depressed men. Lift and how exercise, proper mental state, all help you get out of depression. How fitting is Calendly at the Fitness Oracle. How fitting is, why can't I? Canva for the Fitness Oracle. How fitting is Binance? If a guy's down and out on his luck, lost his job, doesn't have any income coming in, or IBKR, or stock trading, doesn't really fit. So I had to make my affiliate programs fit my avatar and my business model. It's really easy to do, but it's really easy to divert from it. So keep that honed in, zoned in, and trust me, it may not kick off right away. It may take a couple of months before you get that first click, but just keep doing it. Now, if I sit here and I start promoting health and wellness products to people who are looking to start their podcast, they'll be like, what the heck is this guy doing? What is he doing? Like, I don't care about Isagenix products. I care about how do I make money, and how do I ease my workload on my podcast. That's the whole purpose of Podcasters Business Insider, not Isagenix. I could put my Isagenix stuff in here, and they're great, and I love them. I use them. I use methylene blue. I think it's fantastic. I think it's great. It works amazing. The only side effect is that your pee turns blue, but mental clarity is like, it works so good. I don't listen to what other people are saying. It works so good. Don't even listen to what I'm saying. Try it yourself. But anyways, let's refocus here. So his approach was helping indie podcasters grow without social burnout. He had a strong lead magnet, email funnel, cohort or coaching, revenue first thinking, not ad based. Key factor there. How can I make money now? I've talked about that before. So what's the easiest way? This is a quote from him. The easiest way to monetize a small show is to solve a painful problem for a specific person and then give them a paid next step. It's very simple marketing. You have a problem, a pain point. Here is one part of the solution. You want the other parts? Like, put your money where your mouth is. Give me $50 and I'll give it to you. It's a very simple solution, but if you have your avatar down packed, you have that evergreen mini course down packed, you give them the freebie. You give them 2-3 freebies. They will pay you. They'll say, yeah, okay. I found value with these 2 or 3 things that John gave me. I will give him $50 to see how much more he can help me. Their system, weekly publishing schedule, a clean CTA structure, monthly newsletter, and a freebie funnel. I'm actually using the freebie. I'm going to be implementing the freebie funnel, and I have a bi-weekly newsletter. I just have to clean up the CTA structure. It's stressful. And the weekly publishing schedule, we have these lives Monday to Friday, And come September, we're going to be doing one-on-one interviews that I actually really, 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 really enjoy. Mindset shift. They stopped trying to grow fast and started to focus on growing right. This is super, super, super important, guys. If you try to grow fast like I did with the Fitness Oracle, you're going to be making the wrong programs. You're going to be talking to the wrong people. You're going to be talking to the wrong sponsors. You're going to be talking to the wrong affiliates. You're going to be talking to the wrong. You're always going to be chasing that shiny, shiny thing. So stop focusing on growing fast. You don't need fast. What you need to do is grow right. And growing right is a lot of hard work at the beginning, but once it starts and you get your systems in place, everything starts to flow. Remember what I said yesterday. You do the hard work once, like an IT mindset, and then you just coast the rest of the way. And if something breaks, you just go back, fix what's broken, and then continue on growing. Here's another quote that from Jeremy. I stopped worrying about downloads and started tracking revenues per listener. How can my listener become my customer? Yes, I want you to listen to my podcast. I also want you to become my customer. There's a great book out there called Superfan. I want every single listener, every single subscriber here on YouTube to become a super fan of not just Podcasters Business Insider, but of all of TechForge Media Group. That's my goal. So I don't want 10,000, 100,000 listeners, 10,000, 100,000 subscribers. All I want is 1,000 or even 100. 100 subscribers saying, I will buy whatever John says because I know it's going to help me. Do the math. 100, and if I have a $5,000 product, 100 times 5,000, money in the bank. So the actionable insights for today, what I want you guys to do. 3 lessons that you can steal, and I'm going to steal them too, is know your niche. This, I've already narrowed it down for myself. The niche is like super zeroed in on one person. Narrow equals profitable. You talk to a person, not everyone. You talk to you. I talk to you. I'm not talking to everybody. I'm not a voice in a crowd. I'm having a one-on-one discussion with Mark, my avatar. Systems beats size. You build a system, repeatable work. Let me rephrase that. You build a simple, repeatable workflow that drives clear results. This takes time. This takes time and refinement. You need to build the system, the skeleton of the system first. For me, I've already done that with a Fitness Oracle. Now, what I'm doing with PBI is I'm building that system that I can literally just copy and paste for Control Alt Elite. It's very easy. But this is the hard part. This is what takes time. The version 1, which was Fitness Oracle. This is version 2. Right now I'm working on version 2.3. I've already had 3 different things that I've done for, bringing on guests. Track revenue, not just downloads. Set a goal. How can you earn $1 per listener per month? We talked about those strategies yesterday. Patreon is a fantastic way to do this. It doesn't cost much upfront. You can upgrade, but even the intro, when you're first starting off, just do the intro stuff. If you can find the free version, do the free version. Remember, this whole thing's cost me $300 a month. So I'm in the whole $300. Next month I'll be in the whole $600. I gotta bring that money in somehow. PBI is a little different. I mean, I'm going to be charging my guests. There's going to be a paywall in front and sponsorships and stuff like that. But it's just part of running a business. This is a marketing business. This is not nothing else. It's just marketing. How do I market you? How do I get your product to more people? It's not free. I wish it was. Believe me. So see if you do have a podcast, see if you can get onto Patreon, Discord. You can charge people on Discord. Discord's free. A lot of work to set up, but I mean, Patreon's a little bit easier. Discord is it's a lot of work to get set up. If you're not comfortable using Discord, my suggestion would be Patreon. Only because their pay structure is a little bit better. Mighty Networks also has, but they're pretty good too. I had them as well for the Fitness Oracle, and I was paying them on a yearly basis. We might be going back to Mighty Networks once we get, everything. Once we get income coming in and we have a little bit of a nest egg, then I'll start probably looking at like Mighty Networks again. They were really good. I was really happy with them. So if you want access to the systems and templates behind this kind of success, support. Whoops. We don't have our Patreon link yet. That's coming in November. Again, a lot of work to get done. The Pod Squad gets access. Support the show on Discord. If you're on Discord, find Tech Forge Syndicate. Sign up to it. Help us out a little bit. Next week, we kick off a new week and we talk about trends that actually matter. Like why some podcasts blow up while others flatline. Don't miss this. And with that, I will see you guys have an awesome weekend. If you're in Toronto, enjoy the nice hot weather because the cold weather is a month or two away. So enjoy it while we have it. And I'll see you guys next week. You guys have an awesome weekend.